Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and I'm from Amanda Crochets, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make the Kroller Stitch. The Kroller Stitch is an easy one row repeat pattern, and it also reminds me a lot of the Sedge Stitch. So if you really like the Sedge Stitch, you will enjoy making this pattern. So I will go ahead and show you how to make this in a small sample size today. However, you can always make this into a larger project such as a blanket or a dishcloth. So let's get started on today's tutorial making the Kroller Stitch. So for today's tutorial, I'm just going to be using the Premier Basix yarn. This is a number 4 worsted weight yarn. It is 359 yards, 328 meters. It's a 7 ounce or 200 gram skein, and it is 100% acrylic. You can use whatever yarn that you would like. I'm just using this as I had this in my stash. This is also machine wash, warm, or tumble dry, and it is protected against 350 harmful substances. So you know that this yarn is going to be nice and soft against those people who have sensitive skin. And the recommended hook size is a US I9 or 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. I'm also going to be using a size J6 or J10 6 millimeter crochet hook. I am bumping my crochet hook up 1 just because I wanted to make this pattern a little bit more airy and drapey. However, if you want to use the recommended size, which again is the US I9 or 5.5 millimeter, you can go ahead and do so. So grab your yarn, grab your hook, and let's get started on today's tutorial. Okay, so for the Kroller Stitch, you need to have a stitch multiple that is 3 plus 1. So that means you're going to take the number 3 and multiply it by any number, and once you're satisfied with the width of your project, you're going to go ahead and add one more chain to the very end. So in my sample today, I'm going to be taking 3 times 8, which is 24, plus 1 for a total of 25 chains. You can go ahead and make any chain multiple that you would like, as long as it's in a multiple of 3 plus 1. So to make a chain, that loop on your hook does not count. You're going to yarn over your hook and pull through that loop. So yarn over, pull through that loop on your hook, and that is your first chain. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue until you have 25 chains or your multiple of 3 plus 1. Okay, so now that you have your 25 chains or your stitch multiple of 3 plus 1, we can begin row 1. For row 1, we're going to start in the 4th chain from the hook and make a single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet all into the same chain. So that loop on your hook does not count. You're going to count 4 chains from your hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in that 4th chain from hook, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And that is your single crochet. In the same chain, you're going to make a half double crochet, so yarn over your hook, insert your hook into that same chain space, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and that is your half double crochet. Finally, we're going to be making a double crochet into that same chain space, so yarn over your hook, insert your hook into that same chain space, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops, and that is your double crochet. Next, we're going to skip 2 chains and we're going to make a single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet into that next chain. So find the next chain, which is going to be right here, and you're going to count 2, 1, and 2, and in the chain after that, you're going to make the same stitches that you made before, which is the single, half double, and double crochet. So insert your hook and make a single crochet, yarn over and make a half double crochet back into that same chain space, and finally make a double crochet into that same chain space. Okay, so you're going to repeat this all the way across until you have 3 chains remaining. So again, you're going to skip the next 2 chains, and in the chain after that you're going to make a single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet all into that next chain. So I'll do the repeat one more time. You're going to skip the next 2 chains, and in the chain after that make a single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet all into the chain space. So again, skip the next 2, and the chain after that make a single, half double, and double crochet, and you're going to repeat that all the way across until you have the final 3 chains remaining. Okay, so I'm over at the end of my row and I have 3 chains remaining. So now I'm going to go ahead and skip 2 chains, and in that very last chain across, you're going to go ahead and make a half double crochet. And that is what your first row is going to look like. Now if you are a beginner, I highly suggest getting a stitch marker and putting it in this last stitch right here, which is your half double crochet, as well as the very first stitch that you made. So the very first stitch is actually going to be that skipped chain that you made. So if you go back to the beginning of your row, you're going to see your beginning stitches. So right here is going to be your single crochet, and directly to the right of it is going to be the top of your chain. So go ahead and insert your stitch marker into the top of that chain, and as you make more rows you're just going to simply get your stitch markers and move it up, so that way the stitch markers will let you know where the end of the row is, so your rows are straight and you don't miss a stitch. So again, this is what row 1 looks like. For row 2, we're going to go ahead and chain 2 and turn. Now that chain 2 does count as a half double crochet, so in that top of the chain 2 that you just made, go ahead and insert your stitch marker. We're going to go ahead and make a single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet into the next double crochet. So from the previous row you have that next stitch right here, which is going to be your double crochet stitch, and that is the stitch that you're going to work in for the single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. We're going to skip 2 stitches and we're going to make a single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet into the next double crochet. So you're going to skip the half double crochet and single crochet from the previous row, and you're going to find that next stitch, which is your double crochet, and that is the stitch that you're going to work your single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet in. You're going to repeat this across until you have 3 stitches remaining. When you have 3 stitches remaining, I will go ahead and show you how to end row 2 and move on to the next row. Okay, so I'm over at the end of row 2 and I have 3 stitches remaining. I'm going to skip the next 2, 1 and 2, and in the top of that turning chain where you have your stitch marker, you're going to go ahead and make a half double crochet. So skip the next 2 stitches, and in the top of that turning chain, go ahead and make a half double crochet. And row 2 is completed. So here is what your pattern is starting to look like so far. So for row 3, you're going to chain 2, and that chain 2 is going to count as your half double crochet. You're just going to repeat row 2 for the entire pattern. So I will work a few more stitches just to show you once again. That half double crochet, or the chain 2 is going to count as your first half double crochet. So you're going to find that next stitch, which is this double crochet right here, and you're going to work your single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet all into that same stitch. You're going to skip the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and in the stitch after that, which is your double crochet from the previous row, you're going to make your single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. You're going to repeat that all the way across until you have 3 stitches remaining. When you get to the end of your row, you're going to skip those 2 stitches, and in that turning chain, you're going to go ahead and make a half double crochet into the top of that turning chain. So go ahead and repeat row 2 for the pattern. I'm going to go ahead and make a few more rows just so you can see what the pattern looks like a little bit more. So once I get back, I'll go ahead and show you what the pattern looks like. Okay, so here is what the pattern is starting to look like. And you can see all of that nice, beautiful texture to it. You can make this in many different colors. You can even make it in a striping color, and it just works up very quickly and has that nice texture, like I said. And as I said in the beginning of the video, it does remind me a lot of the Sedge Stitch. So if you really like that stitch, then you're really going to like this Kroller Stitch. So that's pretty much all there is to it when it comes to the Kroller Stitch. It's just a 1-row repeat, and it will make a beautiful pattern for a dishcloth, a sweater, a blanket, or any number of projects that you have in mind. So thank you so much for joining me today on learning how to make the Kroller Stitch. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Please like, comment, and subscribe to see all future videos by me. And as always, happy crocheting! Bye!